Here is the question, and here is our mind map approach. We have seen this passage in earlier lessons, and this is the mind map we came up with. Our first bite was the first sentence of the passage. What did it do? It raised a question around whether this scientist can be considered a remarkable one. Our second bite is this part of the passage. What did this bite do? It developed a case for yes as the answer, as in why this scientist should be considered a remarkable one. Then we saw a contrast trigger, followed by what we can consider the last bite of the passage. And what this does is to develop a case for no as the answer, as in why this scientist cannot be considered a remarkable one. We completed the first 4 steps, and now we must go about reading the question stem. With which of these answer choices would the author of the passage agree in the context of the fame of our scientist? The author would not consider that the fame is undeserved. Remember, half the passage has gone into acknowledging the work done by our scientist. Therefore, to say that the author would consider our scientist's fame as undeserved would be harsh. From the point of view of other scientists, the author feels that the fame of our scientist is incongruent with his standing among other scientists. Please understand that even in the context of other scientists, the influence of our scientist has been said to be duly recognized. Therefore, to say that most scientists would consider the fame of our scientist here as baseless is very strong. Yes, there is an incongruence of sorts, but baseless means something else. Incorrect. These other scientists have been spoken about in the context of having a better standing among other scientists, and that the scientists are generally unwilling to group our scientist alongside these greats. However, the level of fame in general of our scientist in comparison with these scientists has not been discussed. Therefore, answer choice D cannot be inferred. The work by our scientist in advocacy and activism has been talked about in the passage from the point of view of contributing to his fame. Therefore, answer choice B makes great sense. However, any comparison between the fame of our scientist and his impact in advocacy and activism cannot be established. Yes, his roles as an advocate for science education seem to have contributed to his enduring fame. Therefore, the author is likely to agree that the fame of our scientist stems in part from his work as an advocate for science education. Therefore, answer choice B makes great sense. This is the correct answer choice.